Hello, we're going to be talking about RGB today. RGB, or red, green, blue, is part of the additive color model. The additive color model is what we use for anything digital, anything from computer screens to phones to billboards to video, all that stuff is going to be in RGB. When we're working on things in Adobe Photoshop or Adobe Illustrator, what we're actually seeing is RGB. We might do some conversion into CMYK prior to printing, but for the most part, we're working in the RGB space. I think there are about 33 million colors potentially that you can create with RGB, so there's a lot of them. You can't create any kind of foils or anything shiny, really. It doesn't really work, but you can get most of the way there for lots of your neons and super bright colors as well. Thing about RGB is that you might need to be working in RGB when you're in Photoshop or Illustrator if you're doing anything with filters. A lot of the filters they'll just be grayed out. You can't actually use them unless you have RGB enabled. There is some weirdness that can happen as well when you're converting from CMYK to RGB. This comes up a lot when you're doing any kind of branding. And this is a major point of focus whenever I'm working with clients on branding, is that the conversion from CMYK or Pantone colors to RGB is not like a really well-defined thing. I mean, Photoshop or Adobe has their own conversion process. Pantone has their own conversion process. There's like 12 other ones you can find online. None of them give you the same numbers. They don't give you the same numbers from one set of Pantone to RGB or CMYK to RGB. It doesn't work exactly. And I've gone through a lot of them, and still you might have a really nice blue in print, or a blue that you really like for your brand. When you convert it to RGB and look at it on a computer screen, it might actually be kind of purpley or not really the right tone of blue. And that's because these things aren't exactly perfect. And there's a ton of variables when you switch from CMYK to RGB. You have lighting, computer hardware. I guess that's a lot of it. Lighting and computer hardware are the major two. You also have eyesight. People have different abilities to distinguish different colors. So if you're doing any kind of major branding project, get a couple people in a room, if you can, and have them look at a few different devices or a few different printouts with different kinds of papers and different printers, all that kind of stuff. Get as many different variables all on the table at once, and then use that to establish which colors look the same. Once you find ones that look the same really well, and you all kind of agree on, that's the best conversion for your brand color, not what Adobe tells you to do and not what Pantone tells you to do. Use your eyes, figure that out, and you're going to save yourself a whole lot of hurt later on. I hope that helps a little bit. You can find out more in some of the other links that I'll put on this article, and I'll see you soon. Thanks.